What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph!
You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight, okay, we're coming back to David Bowie. Yes, indeed. David Bowie fans, feeling you. Come on now. Here we go. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to doing all of the clicks and the likes and the bibbidi bop, do me a favor before you do all that stuff. Please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, if you still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from Randy Souther, and Randy wanted to see me react to this song by David Bowie called The Width of a Circle.
All these squares make a circle. All these squares make a circle.
Now, have I heard the song before? No, I don't believe I have. The title certainly is not ringing any bells. But I mean, I've heard a number of David Bowie songs, but this does not resonate with me in any way, shape, or form. However, there's always a possibility that I may have heard this song before and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start listening to the song and I suddenly go, wait, I recognize this song, I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Apparently this video is taken from the final show of Bowie and the band playing as Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars. So this is from the last time that David did this gimmick. So that's going to be interesting. I guess we'll see how this goes. This was posted by Ziggy Stardust.
I understood that reference.
Yeah, cute. And the video has 582,000 views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. David Bowie, The Width of a Circle. Cool. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
A monster who was sleeping by a tree. Well, I looked and frowned because the monster was me. Well, I said hello and I said hello, and I asked why not, and I replied dinner. So he asked a simple blackbird who was happy as could be. Well, they laughed and sang and quit calling the band. And I cried for all the others till the day was nearly through. 'Cause I realized that God's a young man too. Just like you. Just like you. Just like you.
Okay, I've been waiting to pause. I don't want to pause in the middle of a solo, but I mean, good Lord, 8 minutes. Oh, good Lord. I am all in favor of extended guitar solos. I got no problem with extended guitar solos. One of my favorite extended guitar solos ever was Randy Rhoads on the tribute album when they did Suicide Solution. They had Randy do an extended guitar solo in the middle of that song. That's probably my favorite extended guitar solo of all time. I'll tell you why.
Why?
It's interesting. Every single time, every single section is different. Every single section shows off different techniques, a different approach, different feels, even different tempos and different speeds. So I got no problem with extended guitar solos when they keep your interest, when they're interesting, when they're impressive, when they sound good. They need to wrap this up because this guitar player is running out of things to do. I mean, he's going back to the well quite a bit. A lot of hammer-on and pull-offs, a lot of pick slides, and it's getting very, I don't want to say one-trick pony-ish, but it's definitely getting repetitive, that's for sure. Now they're having to rely more on antics. Like the lighting in this is hard. It's hard to see exactly what's happening. But I saw some interaction between the bass player and the guitar player, and that's great. I'm glad to see that. But this is it's getting long. It's really getting long in the tooth, and to be honest with you, it's getting a little boring. So I really hope if they're going to continue soloing, okay, fine, but you guys better change it up, and you better show us something new that we haven't seen or heard from you guys yet, because if we keep going back to the hammer-on pull-offs, I'm going to get really bored really quick. So anyway, let's keep going, and let's see where this goes. Hammer-on pull-off, hammer-on pull-off, hammer-on pull-off, hammer-on pull-off, hammer-on pull-off. Yes, let's keep the camera on the close-up tight shots of the people in the crowd. That's so interesting.
Well, I said so long and away bye-bye.
Hey, David's back on the stage.
Smash the soul and traded my mind.
You know, David Bowie's back up on the stage. It might be a good idea if the camera might, pan to the stage and show, the lead singer. That might be a good idea. I don't know. I mean, I don't know anything about, concerts or live production or anything like that. I know nothing about it, but I mean, oh God, how do I put this politically? No, you know what? Forget politics. Let's just say it like it is.
Suck it to him!
Even a Nimrod would be able to take a look at this video and go, hey, the lead singer's singing. He must be back on the stage. Why don't we take the cameras and put it back on the lead singer who we haven't seen in over 7 minutes? That would be the smart thing to do, right? But nah, we're going to keep the camera tight, close-up shots of faces in the crowd with a strobe light going off intermittently because it's artistic.
You kidding me?
It's artistic.
You're a goddamn disgrace.
I'm really starting to get annoyed. Not the song itself. but between the lackluster extended guitar solo and now this shoddy, irresponsible camera work, yeah, I'm getting really annoyed. I really am. So, let's keep going, I guess. Maybe it'll get better. Hey!
I was vaguely half asleep, for which my reputation swept back home and dried. And the morals of this magic spell negotiate and hide. When God did take my logic for a ride. Riding along. But you know,
No, don't disappear. We don't want another extended guitar solo. We really don't. Oh no. Oh no. 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 No! You don't want mine.
Again. Stopped the ground, a cavern appeared, and I smelled the burning bit of mail. Oh, we crashed 1,000 yards below. I said, do it again. Snapping his body, swayed above. His tongue swallowing devil's love. No, the snake and eye, a venom eye. I said, do it again. Breathing deeper. Just a spinning center on the tile, waiting for you.
third to the flat, second to the first. Easy enough. I got mixed feelings about this. I do. There were parts about the song that I liked. There were parts about the song I actually enjoyed. There were parts of the song I was kind of indifferent to, and then there were parts of the song that I was just not a fan of, and I personally don't think they were done very well. So this is going to be interesting. I really need to give this some thought. So let me get my thoughts together. I'll see you in the review, and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was David Bowie with The Width of a Circle. This was a request from Randy Souther. Okay, yeah, I thought about this for a while, and there were a lot of factors, a lot of things I had to think about, a lot of things that I had to kind of keep in perspective. There were some things that, believe it or not, there were some things that I liked. There were a few things I liked. There were a few things I was kind of indifferent to. I was kind of like, hey, take it or leave it. I really don't care. But then again, there were also things though that I was not a fan of, and I didn't like. So I was really trying to weigh everything against each other and try to figure out where I was going to go with this rating. And the rating I have, it makes perfect sense to me. It does. And I think after you hear my explanation as to what I liked, what I didn't like, and what I was indifferent to, I think you'll see how I came up with the score. So let's get to that rating, shall we? Out of a possible 5 stars, I'm going to give that 3 stars. Yeah, 3 out of 5 stars. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Okay, let's start with the stuff I liked. Let's start with that. David Bowie is one of those performers, one of those rare performers who just absolutely exudes charisma and stage presence. I'm going to give you a great example. Towards the end of that video, he came out in front of the stage and just pointed into the crowd. He didn't move. He didn't look around. He didn't change his gaze. He didn't change his facial expressions. He stood like an absolute statue pointing into the crowd. But here's the thing. He has such great charisma and great stage presence that he could do that. And believe it or not, it looks good. It really does. I mean, I'm usually when lead singers do that and they just stand there, I'm just like, come on, do something. Not in this case. He could stand there like a statue the entire time, and believe it or not, I'd be okay with it because he does have such an amazing presence and an amazing aura around him. It just exudes stage presence. So I got no problem with that. When he was moving around the stage, I mean, he fully envelops himself in the character of Ziggy Stardust. He absolutely does. I remember reading when I was taking music appreciation in college. He actually came up. We spent about a day or two, I think it was 2 days on Ziggy Stardust and the paradigm between David Bowie and Ziggy Stardust. And I remember there were a lot of people reading articles, and not me personally, but the professor that we had at the time was apparently he was a pretty big fan, and he would talk to people in the crowd. And when he first started doing the Ziggy Stardust persona, there were people in the crowd who could not believe that was David Bowie. They were like, this looks like two completely different people. They talk different, they move different, they act different, they look different. It goes beyond makeup. The makeup helps, obviously, and the hair coloring helps, obviously, but it goes beyond that. And I could absolutely see that. In that day and age, a lot of parents were probably absolutely losing their minds. Is that a man or a woman? I can't tell. I'm sure a lot of parents were just terrified of the Ziggy Stardust persona and the effect it could have on their poor innocent children, you know? So, and I remember hearing about that in class, and I could absolutely see it. I could absolutely see that. With that type of mindset. Now today, please, that's nothing. Have you seen Marilyn Manson? Please, androgynous, that doesn't even, that's nothing. This is nothing compared to what we have today. But back then, yeah, that's eye-opening for sure, to say the least. But he pulled it off so well. The character so well. He absolutely enveloped himself in the character. He became the character. He wasn't just playing the character, he was the character. And when you have that kind of dedication to your craft, it's special, and it's absolutely believable. So I could definitely see the effect, and I got to see it firsthand with this video, and it was definitely interesting to watch. His singing sounded really nice when he was singing, switching up between melodic singing and spoken word very fluidly, which I was a big appreciative of. And as far as the musicianship, these guys can clearly play, okay? They absolutely can, okay? They're very talented musicians. The bassist, the drummer, the guitarist, they obviously know how to play, and they made their case clear, okay? So I dug that, and I dug that. Well, the thing I dug the most was the drumming. I think the drumming was a lot of fun in this. Switching up the feels constantly between the straight time, double time, half time, slowing down the tempo, speeding up the tempo. It felt, and that's all due to the drummer. Because if you think about it, the bass player didn't matter. It didn't matter what tempo or what groove the drummer switched up to, whether it be straight time, half time, double time, whatever. The bass player's groove during the entire guitar solo never changed. It stayed the same pattern. So the drummer took it upon himself to change things up, and I absolutely appreciate that, because it definitely helps break up the monotony of the guitar solo. Now, the stuff I'm indifferent to. There wasn't a whole lot. There was only a couple of things. Number one, how should I put this? the bass playing, the pattern that he came up with during the guitar solo. It was solid. Yes, it was solid. And I understand it's during a guitar solo. So he doesn't want to do anything to take away the spotlight from the guitar player while the actual guitar solo is happening. I understand that. But at the same time, you can move around with the bass on the neck. You can. You don't have to keep playing the same, 2 or 3 note pattern every single, time. You could, within that guitar solo, if you wanted to make things interesting a little bit, you could have moved to the 4th or to the 5th, and it still would have worked within the guitar solo. They're very strong transitional notes, the 4th and the 5th, and it will fit. It will absolutely fit. But instead, he stayed on the root for the whole time. Now, is that a bad thing? No, it's not a bad thing, but at the same time, it wasn't all that interesting either. So I was kind of indifferent to the bass playing during the guitar solo. I was just like, hey, take it or leave it. I'm easy either way with it. It was one other thing, but I don't remember what it was. Maybe it'll come back to me. So let's move on. Let's move on to the stuff I wasn't a fan of. The guitar solo, that extended guitar solo. Listen, I am all in favor of extended guitar solos, as long as they're interesting, as long as you're going in a lot of different directions, as long as you're able to show off a lot of different techniques. I was very critical of Angus Young on that extended guitar solo that he did. I forgot what the song was. Was it Let There Be Rock, I think? It was one of the reactions I did, and I was very critical of him because his guitar playing during that guitar solo, let's be honest, it was very one-dimensional. I mean, it was very much like this. A lot of hammer-ons, a lot of pull-offs, this guy added the pick slides, and listen, if you want to do that for a guitar solo and your guitar solo lasts 25-30 seconds, okay, fine, whatever. A minute a minute of hammer-on and pull-offs, you're really stretching it. If that's all you're doing is hammer-on and pull-offs and pick slides, a minute is stretching it, but I could even stomach that. 7 minutes of hammer-ons, pull-offs, and pick slides.
What's the matter with you?
A very hard pill to swallow. And to be honest with you guys, I became very disenchanted with the guitar solo after about the first 2 minutes. I was like, okay, when's this gonna end? When are we gonna go somewhere else? And we didn't. It was just redundant as hell. And I'm just like, I'm sure there are people who like that. I'm sure there are, but at the same time, I am not one of those people. And to be perfectly honest with you, it wasn't interesting. It wasn't flashy. It wasn't impressive. It was like, okay, it's a one-trick pony. Well, in this case, two-trick ponies. Hammer-on and pull-offs, they count as one. And then pick slides. Congratulations, you know. The first minute was okay, you know, like watching them up at the front. No, you know, single-handed, just left-handed. Hammer-on, pull-off, hammer-on, pull-off, hammer-on, pull-off. That was cool. It was fun. Watching him with his right hand up in the air, showing the crowd that he wasn't using it. That's cool. And then after a minute, it's like, okay, what else? And then he did bring his other hand into it. He did a couple of picking things. Right back to the hammer on and pull off, hammer on, pull off, hammer on, pull off, hammer on, pull off, hammer on, pull off. And I'm like, oh.
That's how I feel.
Pick slide! Hammer on, pull off, hammer on, pull off, hammer on, pull off. Yeah. So yeah, that got real annoying. The camera work. Look, this is not the band's fault. Okay, this is not the song's fault. But unfortunately, in the overall presentation of the video that I watched, it is a factor. It is absolutely a factor. Do we really need to keep the camera on the faces of the crowd? Tight, close-up shots of people's faces, seriously, for 2 to 2.5 minutes? That is not my idea of entertainment. That is not my idea of a good time. Especially when the lead singer comes back on stage. And for 15 to 20 seconds, we stayed on those same faces. Despite the fact that the lead singer is back on stage, who we haven't seen in 8 minutes, and is now singing. Wouldn't that make more sense to turn the cameras around and, oh, there he is, he's back. Wouldn't that make a little more sense from a production standpoint? I think it would. You know, not that I have any experience in, you know, live music or anything like that. Yeah, right. You know, but it just, that's just common sense, right? I mean, a 4-year-old could probably figure that out. So, oh, but we're being artistic and we're trying to show off our artistic ability, and, you know, we're trying to capture the moment. Capture the moment on stage. Nobody cares about what we see in the crowd when the lead singer is up on the stage, who we haven't seen in 8 minutes. Anyway, just not a fan of that. Yeah, between the length of the guitar solo, the unimaginativeness of the guitar solo, and the shoddy camera work, yeah, I was not a fan of those whatsoever. So I'm taking all of these factors and I'm putting them together, playing them against each other, measuring them up, and at the end of the day, we came out, honestly, with a pretty good score. It was pretty good. I wasn't thrilled with it. I didn't think it was impressive at all. I would not call this performance great. And now, David Bowie, yes, he was great. Yes. Everything else, no. So that's how we're coming up with a pretty good score of 3 out of 5 stars. So anyway, that's the score I feel this video deserves, and that's where we're gonna stay. So 3 out of 5 stars, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hopefully I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, then I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, well then, by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for tonight, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.